Oh, this is awkward. Hey guys, I'm Rose from Veggierose.com. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome. If you are a returning visitor, what's up, Veggie Fam? So today I'm going to be sharing my top 10 minimalist kitchen essentials with you. I've also created a blog post, which is a holiday gift guide for the foodie. So that could be for a loved one, that could be for yourself. It is a list with a bunch of awesome kitchen essentials that I absolutely swear by and love. So go and check that out when you watch this video. The link will be down below. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm not a full-blown minimalist anymore. I used to be like very minimal with everything, but I have just toned it down a bit to allow myself to kind of like get something that might be not necessarily a complete essential, but something that kind of like, you know, just makes me feel good. But I do tend to declutter very often and just minimize everything only to the things I need. And if I'm being totally honest with you, the thing that is the most non-minimal in my home would be my kitchen, because I mean, I'm a food blogger, so I have lots of, I have my whole bookshelf, and I've actually minimized that from 2 huge bookshelves that I had with just like food photography, props and plates and all that good stuff. But that just warms my heart too. It's not just work, that is something I love. But anyways, let's talk about it. These are the top 10 things that I would recommend anyone who wants to have like all the essentials, but also keep everything minimal in their kitchen. However, that being said, not just because I'm saying it's essential, these are essentials to me personally, and I feel like would be essential to a lot of people, but everyone, you know, has different essentials depending on what they make and the number of, you know, people in their household and things like that. Number 1 is a cast iron skillet. The reason why I absolutely love and I feel like a cast iron skillet is essential is because I personally feel like you can cook just about anything in a cast iron skillet. It is toxin free, so you don't have to worry about any nasty chemicals leaching into your food depending on what temperature it is and whatnot, because a lot of these non-stick pans are like that, which is why I've been trying to steer away from a lot of those recently. There is something you might not want to cook in a cast iron skillet, and those are acidic foods or acidic recipes. And that is because it will change the color of your actual recipe, whatever you're making. It could potentially change the color of that, and also it'll make more of that iron kind of like leach into the food itself, and it will also change the color of your cast iron. As you see with my cast iron skillet, I've actually bought it secondhand, which I like to do a lot of times with cast iron. I'll buy it from like a flea market or a thrift store and things like that, because I just love to give like new life to a cast iron skillet because they're just so durable. And mine already came a little bit discolored, but it works still absolutely great like a charm. Number 2 are knives. If I had 2 knives that I could absolutely not live without, number 1 would have to be my chef's knife. I have a couple chef knives, one of my favorite, which my husband ruined, and also my cutting board, but we're not going to talk about that. That's not what we're talking about right now. So yeah, so a chef knife for sure, absolutely. I love chef knives. I use it for pretty much everything and anything. And then I also love a good utility knife. A utility knife, also you can use a paring knife, but I like the size of a utility knife for certain things like cutting small vegetables, because it fits so well in my little small hands. Also, if we're going somewhere where I know I'll be cooking outside, such as a barbecue, or if we're going to be camping or anything like that, I usually take a utility knife rather than a big chef knife. Number 3 is mixing bowls. And although, like I said, I have quite a few of each of these items because of my job, I do highly recommend, if you have a minimalist kitchen, to have at least 1 large mixing bowl. The mixing bowls that I prefer are glass mixing bowls, although I do also have wooden mixing bowls and metal mixing bowls, but I always prefer the glass mixing bowls. because they're easy to clean and dishwasher safe. Number 4 is cutting board. I love a good old wooden cutting board. And the one I had was very, very durable, but my husband decided to cut a coconut with my chef knife on the cutting board. And yeah, stuff happened. And our cutting board is no longer with us. So right now I have a plastic cutting board. But yes, a cutting board is definitely, totally, and absolutely essential to all kitchens. Number 5 is measuring spoons and measuring cups. Who doesn't need measuring spoons and measuring cups? I mean, everyone who cooks, everyone who's in the kitchen, even if you don't follow recipes, at some point you're gonna need a measuring spoon or a measuring cup of some sort for something. So definitely an essential, definitely essential, you definitely need to have those. Number 6 is a blender. Some people might not need a blender. So this, like I said, this list, it just, you know, it goes to whatever your personal needs might be. What is this? I don't know. But some people don't need a blender. I love to blend up things all the time, so I absolutely need a blender like at all times. So like I said, you kind of have to assess your own needs in the kitchen in order to know whether these are your essentials or not. So kind of go through everything and how your daily, you know, use of things go and what would make your kitchen time more efficient, and that's the stuff that you need that is essential. Number 7, and I kind of put 2 in here because, you know, I'm trying to cheat a little bit, trying to keep it at 10. But yeah, there's 2. So it is a pot with a lid and a non-stick pan. Now, I like to use the non-stick pan as rare as possible just because of the toxins and stuff. And I like to use it on things that need very low heat, things like pancakes and things like that. But a pot with a lid is so essential. I love to make rice in a pot, and I don't have a rice cooker and don't feel the need for myself to personally have a rice cooker because I've like toned down my rice cooking skills. If you guys want to know how I make white rice without a slow cooker and how I make it perfect, please let me know down below. I would love to make that video for you. Number 8 is a casserole dish. Depending on your household size, you may want a 11 by 13 or you may want something smaller, depending on how much you're going to be cooking, or if you do meal prepping and you decide you want to do like something big, you want a bigger one or a smaller one. You know, it all really depends on your own personal kitchen needs. But a casserole dish is, I personally think, is very essential for pretty much every kitchen, because there are so many recipes that you can put in a casserole dish. Anything from like cake to lasagna to veggies, anything. I mean, anything. Number 9, and this one should almost be number 1 on my list, and that is a air fryer. The reason why the air fryer is on this top 10 minimalist essentials is because, and you might be wondering, Rose, you have a regular, you know, stove oven, don't you? Why just keep it at that and keep it minimum? The reason why I love to have the air fryer is because the air fryer is more energy efficient than this large stove oven, and it cooks everything in half the time. And therefore it saves energy, which is why I feel like it's a very good thing to have, and it doesn't feel like it is taking up extra space or like it's not being used, because we pretty much use it every single day. And for us personally, we live in South Florida, so if we were turning on that oven every single day, we would be fried. Number 10 is Tupperware, and in the past I've said I don't really use Tupperware, and for a while I actually didn't use any Tupperware because I just don't like the whole stacking of the Tupperware, the different sizes and all that kind of thing. I do own a couple glass Tupperware, so I guess it also depends again on your personal preference and on what you're making and your own kitchen needs. Glass Tupperware with lids, little snap lids, are perfect, but I love to use deli containers, and I use deli containers because they're washable, they're reusable, and I love to use them with Scotch tape and a Sharpie. So basically what I do is I will pull off a piece of my Scotch tape and I will place it onto the little deli container of whatever, either leftover or, you know, food prep thing or whatever I placed into the container. I will write the name of whatever it is that I put in the container along with the dates of when I place it into the kitchen or into the refrigerator. That way I know, you know, how long it's been in there, whether it needs to be tossed or not, and all that good stuff. And what I love about these containers, I have 2 different size containers. These will be linked in the blog post, which I've linked down below, so you guys can check them out if you want. But this is by far my favorite way to store food in the refrigerator, in the freezer. However, in the pantry, I also have, like, you know, dried coconut flakes and quinoa and rice and things like that in these little deli containers because they're so affordable, incredibly affordable, and it's just so easy to maintain with the little logging system. So that is that for this video. Let me know what your kitchen essentials are. I would love to read about that because I just love to know what other people are using like as their essentials, because everyone has different essentials in their kitchen that they use on a daily basis. So I would love to hear what yours are. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. You're not gonna be in there.
I really want to say, I want to be in there. So bitch, I just.
Oh, this is awkward. Why are you smiling like that? I love smiling. Smiling's my favorite. Alright, get out of here, fool.
Aww.